Few will argue that an arts education contributes to a child's healthy development. But all too often, when budget cuts are needed, arts programs are the first thing to be eliminated or downsized. This year, the nonprofit Arts Connection is celebrating 45 years of making sure the arts are part of the educational experience of some 3 million New York City students. Here to tell us more is Executive Director of Arts Connection, Rachel Watts. So nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for having me.
I love everything about what you do.
Me too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just don't understand the significance of this. So Arts Connection really got started at a point when, 1979, I believe, when we started to see arts being pulled from schools.
Yes.
So what was the thought behind its founding?
Well, the founder, who's still on our board, actually, she really saw the importance of the art, understood the importance of the arts in schools. And when we saw during the fiscal crisis in the late 70s, early 80s in New York, that the art teachers were being taken out of the school system, it became a marriage of ideas where artists were getting work to live and be in New York City, but also to offer opportunities for young people to experience the arts in their education, which is so important.
So you guys were able to sort of corral all that and put it back in the schools in a way. And so how does that work? Because I believe you got all the bases covered. You're in the school, you're after school, you're outside the school. How does that work?
Well, in schools, we work with New York City Public Schools, over 100 a year. That's why it's over the years has become 3 million students. But the way it works is varied. Sometimes the school will call us and say we'd be interested in working with you, and a lot of the times we're fundraising to find funding to support the arts in schools and to deepen what we're doing at schools. So we have funders who will be focused on a specific art form, or who are focused on students who are learning English, or students with disabilities who we are able to harness the funds that they give us to focus on those populations in the school system.
Yeah, so we're talking about what, in a lot of ways, I guess, what art means to you, whether it's visual or performance art or what have you. Talk a little bit, if you will. You know, we both said we believe the arts is important, and talk about those differences that it makes in a child's life. I mean, maybe science is going to end up being their thing.
Right, yeah.
But having been exposed to various forms of art, what does that do in terms of, I guess, their capacity to learn, their capacity to relate to the world around them?
Exactly. I mean, a lot of the students in New York City Public Schools have very rich cultures that they live and bring to their school experience. What we do is to harness that and to say, let's think about how the arts help people problem solve, work collaboratively, think about ambiguity, come up with original ideas. Those are things that you need as a developed human being. And so we need to make sure that that's part of a child's education. Even if they have a rich culture that they're bringing with them, what makes it different is that idea of using the arts to help the development of a child's mind.
And I'm assuming it's also, even if you come from that rich cultural background, being exposed to the backgrounds of others is also important in that process. And your program, what age range are we talking about? Are we saying K through 12?
Pre-K through 12, yes.
Pre-K.
All art forms, all boroughs. We're in all the schools.
And how big a role do artists of all kinds play? I mean, we're, New York City, we think we're the center of the universe anyway, but we do have that exposure to all of these, really talented individuals here. And is that a big part of what makes your program so successful?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky to work with a roster of about 130 artists in all different art forms who are dedicated to thinking about teaching and learning in the arts. And they bring their artistic richness to what they're doing, and really think about how to break that down to make that a learning experience for young people. And then outside of school, the artists that we work with are really helping young people think about what are the careers that you can explore in the creative industries that are out there that they're not going to get the exposure to in school. And so to help a young child kind of learn to navigate and advocate for the idea of I want to do this creative industry career.
Yeah, and one of the things I love too is that you teach them about it, but you expose them to it. I mean, we're talking Broadway shows, dance performances. And so to be able to do that, that means that I know that you need money to be able to do that. I know reading through all of your materials, some of your big donors, Sony Corporation, the actor Mark Wahlberg, you know, it's always great to throw a famous name out there, and the National Endowment for the Arts.
Yes.
But smaller donors, they can make a difference in helping you do what you do as well. Smaller donations.
Yeah, they make a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, the larger donors, you know, help boost some of the work, but the accumulation of smaller donations really help us put it together.
Yeah. Now you've got a big gala coming up here, and it's going to be my pleasure to MC that night, but with a room full of arts people, I suspect I won't have a whole lot to do, quite frankly. The theme for this year's celebration, art is the heart of life, because that's kind of what you guys believe.
Yeah, yeah. The spelling of the word heart has the word art in it, so we really want to play on that and to focus on the concept of art as the heart of all of our lives and how important it is to be there. It's going to be an exciting day because we're not doing a traditional benefit where you sit down and there's tables and food. It's kind of going to be like an upscale street fair, celebrating the cultures of New York City, all the 5 boroughs, the foods of New York City. It's going to be a really fun experience.
So you're telling me I need to wear my sneakers instead of my heels?
Comfy shoes, yes, comfy shoes.
Okay, my dancing shoes.
Yes.
I didn't say I was going to be dancing though. So if I send folks to artsconnection.org, we can find out more information about the gala celebration, and that is June 5th.
Yes.
By the way, from 6:30 to 9:30. Also tickets, if you can't come, it's important that if you'd like to support the program, to donate.
We'd love and be very grateful for any donations.
Okay,
yes.
artsconnection.org. You know what? The reason you've lasted for 45 years is because I think families, the school, they recognize the value of what you're doing.
Yeah. And we have generations of folks that have been part of Arts Connection, which just makes it community.
Yeah, and they keep coming back for more. Rachel, thank you for sitting down with us, and I will see you June 5th, right? artsconnection.org. Thank you very much. And we'll be right back.